Hi. For this topic, I've chosen the Gulf Coast of the United States. My family is actually from the Gulfport and Biloxi area, so we have a lot of firsthand experience with the human involvement on the geography of the area. I think one of the most known examples of human interaction on the Gulf Coast would be the levees. Of course, prior to the levees being built, a lot of the sediment and the dirt would flow upriver. This is what created the Mississippi Delta, and of course, the Mississippi River. A lot of people call it the Big Muddy. It got that name for a reason. If you look at the river, of course, there's tons of mud in it. Prior to the levees being built, this mud would flow upriver, but then as more got built, they would flow out toward the Gulf. And when this would happen, it would depress the land in certain areas. It would compact so hard that it caused the land to sink. And of course, that caused the water to rise in certain areas. I think one of the most famous examples of levees reaching national news would be, of course, during the Hurricane Katrina in New Orleans specifically. The levees broke and the water flooded the city. The damage was even worse in Biloxi. If you go onto Google Earth and you look at satellite pictures around 2005, 2006, it looks like a nuclear wasteland. The entire city was basically vaporized. A lot of that had to do with the levees and how they were built and the sediment compacting the land so much that it caused the water to rise and there was extreme flooding. So that's levees. That's the human involvement on the rivers. I think the second most known example of, I think, negative human impact on the area would be the oil industry and oil rigs. The most famous example of that, of course, is the 2010 Deepwater Horizon incident, which, as you know, a lot of oil leaked into the Gulf, leaked into the ocean. If you've ever seen the ads on TV, you have birds, you have other wildlife, they get coated in the oil. That means that a lot of people, they can't eat fish caught off the Gulf of Mexico. In addition to the oil spills and the contaminated fish, there's also a lot of waste dumping. So a lot of the fish caught around the Gulf of Mexico, especially in places like New Orleans, it will have tons of microplastics in the fish. You'll have little micro metals in the fish. So it's just generally not safe to eat unless it has been specially prepared, specially cleaned. So pollution is a huge deal, like I said, with oil, with waste dumping. And in other words, if you go back before human involvement during the colonial period, it would have been a completely different landscape. You could have eaten the fish, you could have caught the wild birds, you could have eaten them. The waters would have been cleaner around the Gulf. There wouldn't have been as much mud, probably hardly any. But, of course, as the humans came along, everything changed. The other interesting thing, like I said about this, is you can see some of the changes in real time if you look on Google Earth, especially after Katrina. You can see how the levees affected things when they were broken. So the Gulf Coast was what I picked for this topic. It's probably my favorite area of the U.S. as far as geography goes because there's just so much diversity with the wildlife. It's really interesting down there. And, well, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing your replies.